Hey there, welcome to the Hot Slice, the weekly podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor in chief of Pizza Today, and I'm joined by the esteemed Denise Greer, who is the executive editor of Pizza Today. Denise, how are you today?
Hey, I am wonderful. It's May going on June, so it's a good time to be outside and enjoying life. So I'm looking at the outside right now.
Yeah, late spring bleeds into summer, warm days, sunshine, grass is greening up. It's
Mhm.
everything I love, minus the pollen that has kind of kicked my allergies a little bit. But other than that, yes, it is the most wonderful time of the year. With all respect to the Christmas and the holiday season, this is
Yeah.
the most wonderful time of the year
I,
for us.
I love it. And I just got out a bunch of the pizza cookbooks recently because I want to try out some new pizza recipes for
Mhm.
my outdoor pizza oven.
Yes.
So I'm going to try out some more, because it's a high temp oven, I really want to try out some more high temp doughs, but kind of tweak them. I want to play, I want to play pizza chef and see what I can come up with.
I
Because
love it.
there's so many ways you can go, and with the garden going and just all the fun ingredients. I know you and your household cannot do strawberries, but I
Right.
have my strawberry patch that's going to be ready soon. So I would love to incorporate strawberry on a pizza, and I know people are like, well, that's weird, but you take some balsamic strawberry, prosciutto, get you a
Some
little
feta
burrata
or
or
some goat
feta,
cheese.
yeah, goat cheese. I mean, you can do so many ways. I also have blackberries coming like you would not believe. So if y'all are just concerned about berries on pizza, don't be, because berries are hot on pizza right now, and I'm loving it.
So, I'm glad you mentioned that. The strawberry pizza sounds amazing, by the way. Chris Decker, who writes the On Deck column for Pizza Today magazine, it's a monthly recipe column. The very first recipe he ever did when we launched that column was titled Berry Belly, and
So
it
good.
was an amazing, phenomenal pizza that had blackberries, blueberries. Anyway, outstanding,
And don't
outstanding.
forget pork belly, which is one of the most amazing pizza toppings that not enough people put on pizza. Oh my gosh. I just almost salivate just thinking about pork
It was a
belly on
mouth-watering
pizza.
pizza. So Denise, when your blackberries are ripe and ready to be picked, I hope
Uh,
that you will try your hand at that recipe as well in your backyard.
oh, I definitely, that one's already bookmarked and ready to roll.
Yeah.
I just gotta perfect a dough that I can handle with high heat, because, there's a thing about working that paddle, and I am not as proficient as one PTO would be, just getting it turned in there, because it
Yeah.
really is when you're dealing with high heat ovens, it's a trick to be able to flip it to get it to rotate, because these ovens are small, so you're trying to rotate in the same spot, right? So it's a little trickier. So I'm still learning my peel magic.
I think that because you and I have the same, full disclosure, we're not going to name brands here. This isn't sponsored. So,
Yeah, no,
we have the same outdoor pizza oven
yeah,
and I love it. And we've kind of endured the same, let's say, trials and
yeah.
tribulations as
Setting pepperoni on
we
fire, yes,
we burnt the ever living HELL out of the first pizzas we baked in these ovens. We
for
weren't
sure.
prepared for the high heat.
Yeah,
It was difficult to move it around on the
yeah,
stone initially. Now, what I've discovered, Denise, are the pizza peel that has this metal and is round on the end, it's small and
hmm,
round.
yeah,
That's the ticket for this oven, as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned. That's the game changer. And I'm getting better and better in
yeah.
cooking with this oven. My backyard pies are improving. I'm not ready to open my doors and sell them to the public for millions yet, but I'm
Yeah.
getting there. I'm getting better.
We
It
need
is
to
a lot of fun to
have
experiment with.
we need to have a pizza comp making competition this year because Josh will be in on it. Katie, we'll fly in Kate from Colorado and just have a pizza today pizza making competition. I don't know who's going to judge it, but we need to see who is the master of the outdoor pizza amongst Pizza Today crew.
You know what? We'll just judge it ourselves. We'll go by the honor system.
I
I
don't
I
think
I,
we can be
I
trusted.
trust I trust that you won't favor yourself, Denise. I can't say the same for myself, but I trust that
I'm
you favor
I'm
yourself.
not. Yes, I am biased. I make the best.
Oh
So that's
wow.
all
Well,
right.
hey, um, who before we move on, the one last thing I want to say about our outdoor backyard pizza making adventures. I for years have grown tomatoes and I'm too lazy to build an actual raised bed or garden. So I grow tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets.
Hmm.
I usually have 6 or 8 tomato plants. And one of my favorites are I grow cherry tomatoes and I grow little yellow
That's
cherry
the
tomatoes
ones
as well.
I grow as the little bell tomatoes,
Yes,
the
I
little
love them.
yellow
So
bell.
I last year I had abundance of them. I sliced them in half and I made a pizza in my outdoor oven. I made a pizza that was really other than the sauce and the cheese was nothing but those cherry tomatoes.
Hmm.
And I still dream of that pizza and I cannot wait. I what made me think of it is I actually put my tomato plants out just a
Um,
couple of days ago. So in about 2 or 3 months, I will be able to make that pizza again, and I cannot wait.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm growing tomatoes. I'm doing a trellis this year for my tomatoes. I'm doing a trellis for tomatoes and zucchini and squash. So
Good
just because
times.
it's easier to grow vertically than horizontally
Absolutely.
sometimes. So I'm going to do a trellis, which is something I've never done. So we're going to see how that works. Uh, but getting access for pizzeria operators, getting access to this fresh produce, it's so fun and it adds so much creativity
Yeah.
to pizza making. And our guest knows all about that because he focuses on the local produce there in Seattle, Washington.
You know,
So
he
we
does.
have
And we first met him at Pizza Expo. He
yeah, it's
competed.
been there several years.
Yeah.
And Isaiah Ruffin from Pizza by Ruffin in Seattle, Washington, and he actually had a previous project where he was running a food truck called and that was Project Pizza in Colorado. So he quickly transitioned, and that business was going for 3 years or more,
Hmm.
and then quickly transitioned to Seattle, Washington to open his brick and mortar and do pop-ups.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I loved about our conversation is I didn't know that he basically him and his wife, Colleen, just traveled around to different cities to decide where they were going to put their business. Like that's awesome. Like just
You
to be able to say,
know,
hey, we're gonna just uproot ourselves and we're just gonna pick a place and make a go of it.
it takes unbelievable courage and self-confidence to do
Hmm.
that, right? I mean, it's not quite like they just threw a dart at a map and said, okay, we're going to Akron, Ohio or Seattle,
Yeah.
Washington, because that's where the dart landed. They did do the research. They did drive around and check out communities and check out cities and okay, can I see myself raising my family here? Can I see myself living here? Can I see myself running a business here? But again, A, courageous and brave, and B, a lot of self-confidence to know that I can go into this city where I have no roots and I can plant roots and I can grow a business. So good on them because they're doing it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to spoil it too much, but another thing I loved about what he talked about is setting the business up from the beginning, how he wants it to be structured to have work-life balance. Because as this industry knows, like 80-hour work weeks, that's common.
Right.
It's hard to balance out your life and your business when you're a pizzeria owner. So the
Yeah.
fact that he's just starting it from scratch that way, it's pretty inspiring.
It is. You know, we asked him about that and he said something to the effect, I don't know verbatim his exact his exact words, but something to the effect of, well, I started the way I want to finish. And I thought that
Hmm.
was really insightful and brilliant. And I think if more people took that mindset on day one, they would be very glad.
All right, well, let's just jump into our conversation with Isaiah.
Yeah.
This is pretty great.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service.
Isaiah, thanks for joining us today. I wanted to start off by just talking about the business environment and how it may or may not have changed since you first opened your doors. There's a lot going on right now in the world with the economy, and how has that impacted your day to day?
It's been a bit all over the place. I would say definitely people are spending a lot less dollars out. Our numbers have dropped, not in a favorable direction, not like we're going to close, but in a way that we're just like, what's going on? And we talk to people, it's like, hey, I'm saving, I'm eating out less. I'm just like, okay, well, I get that. But then we get a lot of people who are like, oh, because of the economy, because we know people are spending less, we're gonna get more private events. We're coming out more often. Anything you do, let me know so we can support.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like that
good, good.
balance.
Yeah, it's a little scary to hear people say I'm going to tighten the purse strings just a little bit. What things are you implementing to try to counteract that so that you don't feel too much of a pinch?
As of right now, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Uh, the even though our sales have dropped, we are still comfortable, well within our margins.
Hmm.
And the plan is still to maintain the course, be that place that people can get a quick, easy slice without any drama or fuss. Just keep
Yeah.
it moving.
Yeah, and you're a relatively new business, so you don't have that year over year in your spot. So how is that for you as far as for kind of forecasting what you're looking to do?
Well, we are really fortunate to be like in a kind of they call it a market hall, but
Hmm.
uh it's a lot it's not really it's a glamored down food hall as far as I'm
Hmm.
concerned.
Okay.
So we're in a building that's fully occupied with 600 people who work in offices.
Yeah.
All right, so I use that as like a basis on how many people I know are going to walk by my door every day.
Okay.
And also, when it comes to forecasting, the other businesses here have been around longer, so I lean
Hmm.
on them a lot to get ebbs and flows of things. We are also in like the Amazon hub,
Mm.
so
Oh
like
wow.
we there's yeah thousands of people walk by my door every day. So I
Okay.
have a good idea, like when the weather's nice or when spring break is in, I have a general idea how much I need to be ready for.
And how are you attracting that foot traffic that's going by your door? How are you getting their attention? How are you coercing them to get in the door?
My wife um we have an A-frame. It's like
Hmm.
Seattle's like the city of A-frames. I think they're
Yeah.
hideous. But my wife put one out, and I'd say at least 10 times a day somebody stops and looks at it and like, oh, there's pizza here. We actually didn't have a sign outside of our restaurant for like the first 5 months, and we just put one out, and it's been quite helpful getting people in.
Yeah. And so what I love about your story, and we'll get into it a little bit, is that you actually had your food truck in Colorado, correct? And then you
Yes.
shift gears to your brick and mortar in Seattle. So I gotta know, how did that transition happen? How did you go from Colorado to Seattle and actually get opened, get a brick and mortar open so fast because we had talked about that you've been there for a year and a half and you're already going strong with your brick and mortar.
Yeah, and also Isaiah, before you answer that, just to interject, if I'm not mistaken, your mobile unit was a converted school bus. Is that right?
It sure was,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
We
amazing.
like 3.5 years ago, I saw a short school bus on the side of a highway just like south of Denver. And my now wife, I was like, hey, I have this really crazy idea. And she was like, sure. And that's how our food truck was born.
Yeah.
And we were in northern Colorado, and the opportunities really weren't as prevalent. Like we tried to get brick and mortar after brick and mortar. And then we were like, you know what, maybe Fort Collins just ain't it. So
Hmm.
for like a year, every month we went to a new city, Chicago, DC, where I'm
Wow.
from, with Austin, Texas. We just kept traveling, and Seattle was on that list. And when we visited, it really stuck out to us as a place we thought we could make it. And just talking to people, like going to networking events during these visits, people were like, "Oh man, your story sounds great. You'll do well out here."
Oh,
And after we visited 6 more times, and we decided to make that leap. We bought another bus before we moved that we renovated to become our food truck out here. And that and having a food truck in Washington is not the best. It's one of the worst states to have a food truck, like hands down. It's horrible.
yeah.
But this place is big on pop-ups. So we were getting asked to do little indoor stuff, and literally 3 blocks from here, somebody's like, "Can you cater a lunch?" And somebody who's walking by, the lady actually who just dropped off a package, she saw us there and she asked us to do a pop-up in her building, the building I'm in now, and the space I'm in now on Pi Day. And I saw for a lease sign out there. I made a call, and in 30 days we signed a lease. And then I did all my homework. I did all our electrical, our plumbing, so I didn't have to wait on contractors.
Wow.
And like health department took 60 days just to get my plans approved. And that was the biggest
Hmm.
hurdle.
Hmm.
And after that, we were rocking.
Wow. So how long was that time frame of when you said, "Okay, we're going brick and mortar"? How long was that until you opened your door?
It was about, let's say, lease was signed May 1st, and October 1st, we were ready to go.
That is so
So
fast.
three
That is
Was
months
that
or something like
awesome.
always?
that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said it was like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah,
That's
good.
awesome.
That's fast, actually. Was that always from the very beginning? Was that always the plan eventually to have a brick and mortar pizzeria, or did it just kind of morph into that over time, right place, right time? You saw the building available, yada yada yada.
Yeah, that was the plan. Always was to get indoors.
Hmm.
Being outdoors was fun sometimes, but ultimately having a steady place where people can see it or seek us out was the plan.
I love
Nice.
that.
Okay.
And a lot of your philosophies that you had with Project Pizza, you've brought over to your brick and mortar. Can you tell us a little bit? Because I know I had talked to Colleen on the podcast at Pizza Expo, not this year, but last year. I think it was last year. And she was telling me about your philosophies and kind of what you do. And so I'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about what you have going with your business. We love that you do Black owned, women owned, and veteran owned. As part of your tag, like it's just great to put that out there right at the beginning.
Yeah. We have a few strong philosophies. One is like sourcing. I like
Yeah,
have a tiered system for how we source.
yeah,
Like one through five, five being international and one being local, but the kind of local I could walk to.
uh-huh.
Uh, so with the exception of like coconut, coffee, and chocolate, everything I source is in the U.S.
That's
And
awesome.
I say like my flowers from Washington. Like I know, like we go to farmers market every Sunday. Like my vegetable pies are always inspired by something or someone I met. We definitely focus on like Black Diaspora when it comes to foods.
Hmm.
Like our biggest selling pizza here is the gumbo pizza.
Yum.
We I'm always reading new books and exploring other people's flavors. I got a book guys like called the Taste of Ghana, and
Mm.
I got jerk chicken on the menu.
Nice.
Um, and like one our new crazy one is a Washington inspired pizza.
Hmm.
It's called the Toledo. It has blueberries on it
Oh, yeah.
and brie. So
Mm.
that's like the way all of our pizza tells a story, and I make it every day. The menu changes every week.
Oh, wow. That's
It's
awesome.
very dynamic in that.
And I bet that goes over so well in a community like Seattle, that's very culinary forward with locally sourced products. I feel like they're kind of was have always been at the forefront with that.
Yeah. A lot of people always ask, it's weird with pizza in the pizza world, people will ask if I'm a chef.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like no one assumes because you make pizza you aren't a chef. And I'm like us pizza makers are just as talented as the rest of them.
Yeah. Yeah, we see you at
Yeah.
International Pizza Challenge bringing the heat. We
Right.
see it.
That's right. You know, and sometimes there's a perception out there from people who, let's say, don't run a restaurant for a living or don't make pizza for a living because they'll have a pizza night at home and it'll turn out fairly decent. And then the perception is that pizza is easy or pizza making is easy. And they think that, ignorantly, they think that perhaps it doesn't take the kind of skill that it takes to run other types of restaurants. But that really couldn't be further from the truth, especially if you really get into the art and the science of dough making, right? I mean, it's much more than meets the eye for sure. So I'm glad that you said that because it is a skill, and as Tony G always says, respect the craft.
Yeah. It's what my therapist always says that you got to tell people to respect your craft.
I
Oh, I
love
love
it.
it. What's something that you're like jonesing to get on the menu this summer that you can't wait to work with?
I got two things. Sandwiches.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
okay.
introduced a sandwich 2 weeks ago, just a 1 day thing, and it
Hmm.
sold so fast that I've been nervous to put another one on. And
What
then
was that sandwich?
it was just a prosciutto and burrata.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
very classic Italian. It was my same bread. I just happened to cut it in half and stuff it with those ingredients and keep it moving.
Well, it's people don't understand how like the simplicity of really good food. Like if you put two very simple, beautiful ingredients together and put them in between bread, it's just magic. I love sandwiches.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to know
And
about the bread. Tell me about the sandwich bread. What you said it's my same bread, but what exactly is the bread?
all right, so my dough is a 2 to 3 day ferment, cold ferment, 90% hydration flour or hydration dough.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
um, cool fact is, up until like last week, for the last 3.5 years, I've been making all our dough by hand.
Hmm.
Wow.
And then business went out of sale really close to me, and they sold me their mixer for a steal. So
Wow.
it's been a game changer. It's actually weird, like having 2 more hours every day. It's been eye
So wait,
opening.
you were hand mixing everything?
Every up until
Wow.
last Monday, it was yeah, 50, 70 pound those just
Your
going at
arms
it.
are just raw.
You've got Popeye forearms. You have to.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, how
My-
did it change your dough when you went from the manual process to the mixer? I'm going to assume that that probably comes out of your mixer warmer than when you mixed it by hand. Did you have to make any adjustments to the formula or the process? Did it change it? Were you like, oh wow, this is different now? Or how's that working out for you? I know it's only a
Uh,
weekend, but what have you noticed?
I've used mixers before. So one thing is like back when I mixed by hand, I mixed the salt in when I started,
Hmm.
and because I needed that assistance to getting that gluten strength. But now with the
Hmm.
mixer, I add the salt much later. I give it a little more resting time. I'm able to use much colder water, so
Hmm.
I'm able to stretch out my bulk fermentation. And so those are some things that, like the salt is the biggest. Like adding the salt later, it it's been phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, we got to get into now that you're talking about dough, get into your pizza style because you're doing you're taking a Roman style, correct?
Yes,
All right.
definitely.
Well, we got to geek out on Roman because we have been saying for years that Roman is gonna have its day in America, like that. It's going to rise up, like at some point. And right before the pandemic happened, we were like, "Oh, it's coming." People are starting to open Roman spots. It's like we see Roman coming, and then the pandemic happened. So we feel like maybe now's the time for that Roman to surge.
Yeah, and for me, it was what made sense for my space and for the business model here. Because the food truck was wood fired, and that's definitely my preferred method of cooking pizza.
Yeah,
However, we're in a place where there's thousands of people walking by. I need to be faster than I am in that wood-fired oven, which
yeah,
my wife says is just the same speed. But now when I come in, or not when I come in, when people come in, everything's ready. It takes 2 minutes to heat up. But we'll
yeah,
do 40 people in 20 minutes. Like I couldn't do that in the truck.
yeah. Now, are you selling by the inch?
Oh no, I actually
No.
pre-cut them.
Okay.
The yeah,
Or a
I went
meter.
back and forth on it
Hmm.
or the weight. I just
Yeah.
it's just much faster for me to pre-cut them, and
Hmm.
everyone's the same, so I'm
Okay.
not like going back and forth with people.
Yeah. I bet it helps you to do your pricing and your the back end on running your numbers too when you have everything uniform with your food costs and such.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think visually it looks great as well with Roman
Hmm.
style, and my ability to kind of be creative with the flavors is great as well. I love it.
Now, what drew you to the Roman style? Like, because I you've done other styles, correct?
Yeah, every style you can think of, I've dabbled in.
Absolutely. So, what made you want to settle on the Roman for your shop?
I like the transportability of it.
Hmm.
I like that fluff and crunch. It's light. It's really easy for people to, we have 16 seats. It's really easy for people to come in and try all the flavors. It's
Hmm.
just easy for people to like grab a few on their way back to their office.
Yeah.
And when I think of like New York slice, I was like, ah, I see that around town a lot. And it's kind of hard to be generous with the flavor toppings on it, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But my dough holds up really well to a lot of weight and a lot of flavor. So it made sense that way.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
That's exciting. I haven't noticed too much Roman style pizza on the West Coast in general. I mean, it exists. It's not like it's a complete vacuum and it's not there, but I haven't noticed it being very prevalent, especially as compared to the East Coast. Have you ever found yourself having to not explain your product per se, but educate your customers on on the style of pizza, why maybe it doesn't look like New York pizza or Chicago pizza or any other type of pizza that they grew up on or have had in the past?
Oh yeah, all the time. It got so bad that I made a calendar. Um, let's see. I'm just gonna if
This
there
is
was
great.
oh, so I'm in the shop right now. And
Yeah.
if the so every month has a different style of pizza on it.
Oh, nice.
This
That's
is
awesome.
April. And so I did 12 styles and I just have a little description and some pictures of them. So when
Mhm.
people are really curious, I just give them a calendar. I'm like, hey, read up, have fun with it.
Oh, that's
That's
perfect.
awesome.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
on the flip side, if you ever handed out the calendar and the next time they've come in, they've pointed to a photo of a style you don't offer and been like, "Can you make this for me?"
Not yet. All of my friends have done that. They're like, hey, I see you have this Detroit style. When are you gonna cook that? And I'm like, like if you want me to come over and make some pizza, we can do that.
Well, look,
Yeah.
they're not true friends if they're not giving you crap. I mean, if you heard the way me and my friends talk to one another, you would think we genuinely hate one another. So
Such a guy thing.
that's awesome.
I love that. Um, so as we look, because now you've got your brick and mortar opened, what are some things that you're hoping to now that you've been open to kind of dial in and kind of concentrate on as you move forward to grow your business?
Well, one of the things that like a work-life balance is like top
Yeah.
of that list. So my wife and I, the point of opening a restaurant was like the growth was to have more balance. Like I have three kids,
Hmm.
5, 7, and 20, and I love spending time with them.
Yeah.
And right now we're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 4. So I have evenings free, weekends. We take vacations now. We're going to stay on the island this weekend. Uh, that's like that's the goal. Is really to just enjoy more of life and
Hmm.
worry less about, oh, I got to be open, I need staff, or everything that comes with that.
I like that approach that
Yeah, me
you've
too.
tailored your business to what you want out of the business, instead of, killing yourself trying to be open 7 days a week, doing lunch service, dinner service, and everything in between.
Yeah, we tried evenings initially, and then like I was just like, man, my feet hurt, and I
Yeah.
was just like, this. And we don't. The plan was not to hire anybody because currently it's just my wife and I,
Hmm.
and we want to maintain that. It's easiest when we work together, and
Hmm.
we don't want to change it. It's great for us. Like we live 4 blocks from here. It's
Yeah.
a 6-minute walking commute for me.
Hmm.
Like it's great. Like I love it. Definitely the city is. It's been so welcoming.
Oh, that's amazing. And I imagine because you're telling us about being in the Amazon hub and a lot of the work traffic, it probably makes a lot more sense to like do an earlier day part because I would imagine it kind of just floods out in the evening where people have moved on to other parts of the city.
Yeah, it's evening could. There are a lot of restaurants here that are open in the evening,
Hmm.
and I think that's great for them.
Yeah.
There's like 40,000 people that live in the neighborhood I live in, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
tiny.
That's crazy.
But they like most people they might go. Honestly, I have no idea. I am so unconcerned with after
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Yeah. I
I
love
love the
that.
freedom to do fun stuff. Like we do pop-ups in our space. We host pop-ups in our space on
Hmm.
the weekends. If there's a kitchen and somebody's like, "Oh, you want to do a pop-up?" I have a few rotating concepts. I just go cook. Like this is the life we've been dreaming about.
Oh, I love that.
That's
Just the
great. That's
flexibility.
great. There are so many people who get into business and hope to get to that point, and honestly never do get to that point. They can't extract themselves from working in the business and performing the day-to-day task, and they never get to that point to where they have that work-life balance and where the business works for them. It's a hard place to get to. Many have tried and failed. So kudos to you for getting there so quickly.
I think the key for me was to start the way I wanted to finish. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
this industry is very dynamic, and there's some things like like minimum wage. I think it's like 20 something here in Seattle,
Yeah.
and a
Hmm.
lot of restaurants every year close when minimum wage goes up. I'm like, I don't know. I said like they passed these laws 5 years ago. Like
Yeah.
get ahead of the times. In my opinion, like you have the time to get on it. And like $20 an hour is not enough to live in the city. Like
No.
a studio apartment across the street, the Ascent, I can see the building here is $2,400 a month.
Wow.
Like
Ouch.
who is who is what is $20 gonna get you? It'll
Right.
it'll get you a few slices of pizza. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, we won't keep you any longer except to say that just keep rocking it out. We love what you're doing there and keep us posted on the business. And of course, we can't wait to see you compete again this next year, right?
Yeah, I'm there, Vegas Expo, and I'm definitely going to be competing a lot more, definitely with
Hmm.
my schedule. Like, I'll be at the California show in August. I'll be in Orlando in November, Italy back in January. It's good times.
Once you
Absolutely.
get bitten by the competition bug, Denise, it gets hold of you. So,
That's right. I
yeah.
love it. I love
Isaiah,
it.
thank you for the time and your energy today. I loved learning a little bit more about how you are doing things there in Seattle. Keep up the great work.
But thank you very much. It was awesome talking to you guys this morning, and thanks for getting this in your calendar.
Awesome. Well,
Absolutely. Take care.
we're happy to have you on, man. Take care.
All right. All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.